Years ago, I was asked in the novitiate at La Trappe to write an essay on St. Athanasius to be read out to the other members of the novitiate in class. And it was an occasion to go under the skin of this great author. He was writing in Greek, but the translation of his Vita Antonii went immediately round the whole ancient world in the Latin-speaking part. It was picked up, of course, by the great Augustine. Anthony. He went further and further into the desert. Solitude. All from a call from Scripture, heard in church. If thou wilt be perfect, go, sell all that thou hast and give to the poor, and come, follow me. And then another one, take no thought for the morrow. He abandoned himself to divine providence. The Lord took care of him. One day, the erudite Augustine was talking to a friend of his. They were very successful. He was an orator, a philosopher in his own right. And he and his friend heard how two military officers on the way to a high career in the Roman army had been influenced by the life of St. Anthony, the Vita Antonii, and had decided to leave everything and to go into the desert themselves. And Augustine and his friend were talking and said, see how these more simple people are far richer and wiser than we are in their conquest of the things that matter. And they decided to follow suit, and it became the beginning of a different form of monastic life. Augustine was quite intellectual, and eventually his brethren could become priests and even bishops. That was to influence massively the Western world. The power then of a book is huge. Years ago, in school days, I happened to wander into the Central Library in Cardiff and opened the book of Thomas Merton, Elected Silence. And a picture jumped out of the page. It was a picture of Trappist monks going through the cloister, each under his hood, unheard and unknown. And something hit me. There's a mystery there. And it pulled like a magnet. One day, at 17, I was in France, at Rouen, and wandered into the church of St. Joan of Arc on a Saturday evening, and the sermon happened to be about La Trappe. Some time later, I wrote to La Trappe, and the novice master sent me pictures, and they also spoke loudly. There is a power in a picture. There is a power in a word. And a word of his came back in student days, after I'd spent a month there one summer. And it was when I had asked, what about these people who criticize the monastic life, saying that it is a waste of talent and life? And he just quoted scripture. Ut quid hic perditio? What use this waste? The word precisely of Judas. There is a beauty in the candle consuming itself, just to love and disappear, and giving its life in warmth and heat, praise of glory. Mm-hmm.